premium energy drink from Zions. The champion, 30 years old, 6'8", 262.5 pounds. The challenger, the snowman, 33 years old, 5'9", 237.5 pounds. Not only 11 inches difference in height, but a 10-inch reach advantage for the champion, Tim Sylvia. Here is the official introduction for this heavyweight title fight from none other than Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC Championship bout is sponsored by Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor, the official beer of the UFC. Mickey's gets done. And Amp Mobile, more mobile than you're used to. And the Marines, the few, the proud, the Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the co-main event of the evening. 5 rounds of fighting for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 24 wins with 5 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 237.5 pounds. Fighting out of Olympia, Washington, Jeff the Snowman Monson. And now introducing the UFC champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is an MFS elite fighter. He holds a professional record of 24 wins with 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 262.5 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa, the reigning, defending UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia. When the action begins, our referee in charge is Big John McCarthy.
Gentlemen, from the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World, you receive your instructions in the locker room. Do you have any questions from the challenger? Any questions from the champion? Step back, touch gloves. Best of luck.
It's David versus Goliath 3,000 years later. We know how that one ended. Sylvia hopes this one doesn't end in a similar fashion. Tim Sylvia, the champion. Jeff Monson, the challenger. Sold out ARCO Arena. The best in the business. John McCarthy, our referee, and this title fight is underway.
Sylvia right out to the center of the octagon. Look for Tim to use his jab to keep Jeff off of him and to set up that right hand.
How long till it goes for the first shoot?
Big sprawl.
Good sprawl by Sylvia. 0 for 1 for Monson.
There's the right hand.
Jeff wants to duck under and shoot. And another sprawl, just as Sylvia promised. Monson holding on to that left leg.
Incredibly strong is Jeff Monson. He will crank this leg in. If Tim rests his knees on the mat and takes that weight off of Jeff for a second, he will crawl to that leg and end up in half guard. Monson's very good down here. He's very tricky. Trying to crawl his legs around and get a hold of Tim Sylvia's leg with his own legs.
Tim told me this morning, first goal, obviously, get back up. Right now, Monson doing a great job. Tim thinking more about getting up than punishing Monson in this situation.
Position first. He needs to stay out of being on the bottom. And so very, very smart by Tim Sylvia. He's got plenty of time to damage Jeff Monson. Right now, he does not want to be underneath him.
How many of these shots can Monson take, though, Randy?
Well, and how much energy is Jeff spending hanging on to that leg from down there? I mean, he's incredibly strong.
Tim will take the stall. Tim will take it back on the feet.
And Jeff's got to be having some questions about now. 2 good double leg shots and no luck.
Sprawl has to be the first word in Sylvia's vocabulary since he knew he was fighting Monson.
Absolutely. And you can obviously see that he's trained for this fight. He's prepared for this opponent. Interesting things on Jeff's feet. They have some rubber sewed to the bottom of almost a stocking or a cut-off stocking, and I know that's for grip so that he can drive through his double leg. Certainly not to protect his ankles. He's not a kicker. It's definitely for grip.
Tim so far sizing up Jeff Monson pretty well. He's told me bending forward more with the left knee. Good sprawl again. Sylvia avoids another takedown.
Tim is very diligent here, being very smart.
Remember I said, Randy, all about the sprawl early until he thinks Monson starts to lose some energy. Then he's going to try to punish him on the takedown opportunities, the takedown attempts, if you will. And Tim doing a great job of avoiding a takedown here halfway through round number 1. Remember, it's a title fight, so this fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
As Tim continues to defend the takedowns, Jeff's going to start to have doubts as to whether he can take Tim down. He's going to slow down. He's going to get tireder, and that's when Tim can step up and be more aggressive with his striking.
And Randy, never say never, but if he can't take him down, it's doubtful that he's going to take away his belt. Good jab, though, by Monson. Sylvia can take a punch. We saw that against Arlovsky.
Absolutely, and this is what Jeff has to do. He has to engage, throw some punches, give Tim something else to think about, and then set up his shot. Now he's trying to dive in from the outside, giving Tim plenty of time to react and sprawl. What
is now physically frustrating and draining is soon going to be mentally frustrating for Monson. He's 0 for takedown attempts here in round number 1. Eddie Bravo in the octagon with us. He will help us score our championship fights tonight. A lot of Monson supporters here in Sacramento.
Little raspberry on the left eye of Jeff Monson from that stiff jab of Tim Sylvia. Tim keeping it simple, nice straight punches, using a lot of ones. And occasionally throwing in the 2.
Yep, and no 5 or 6s. No legs coming right now, baby.
Absolutely not. Can't afford to be posted on 1 foot. He will definitely get taken down.
Like I'm learning my numbers?
I like that.
So far, so good. Monson can knock people out, though.
He's a very powerful guy.
Let's throw.
I'd like to see Jeff Monson fake a shot and come with a punching combination, an overhand right or a left hook. Get Tim guessing as to whether he's going to shoot or throw a punch.
One thing that is interesting to note is that you lose power when you are punching up. So Monson may think body. Oh, he caught him there, though, with a right. Good job done by Monson, but you do lose a little power, Randy, as you know, when you're punching up so high. High kick by Sylvia, and a good round number 1.
At the buzzer, we see the first kick of the fight.
Monson stood very tall in the stand-up game the latter part of that round number 1.
He held his own.
The whole time.
Monson held his own, landed some good strikes. And I think if he can keep Tim guessing, he's going to be more effective with the takedown. Can't telegraph his shot.
And then when he's looking for the face, establishing that double jab, then come with your cross hook. When you got him flattened out on the ground, you can hammer fist his body if you can. Hey, you look good.
Just great first round in our heavyweight title fight. Coming up still tonight, our main event of the evening. Welterweight championship between Hughes and St. Pierre. Eddie Bravo, your thoughts on round 1?
I thought Tim Sylvia did an excellent job keeping the fight up. I mean, it doesn't look like Jeff Monson's going to be able to get the fight to the ground based on that first round. Tim Sylvia landed a couple big shots. Looks like there's a little mouse on Jeff Monson's left eye. 10-9, Tim Sylvia.
Eddie, thank you very much. Round 2 of our scheduled 5-minute rounds. Now let's see at what point Sylvia thinks about punishing Monson on those attempts to take him down. He promised no kicks until the 2nd or the 3rd. Sylvia, the big man, Monson, the little guy. Both powerful, both champions in their own right.
Tim moving forward a little more now.
Monson, absolutely.
Tim moving forward a little more now, putting a little more pressure on Jeff Monson. That's a little riskier, moving towards the wrestler. It's a little easier for him to change levels and get in there. Nice sprawl by Tim Sylvia.
Monson trying to come over the top. Monson really doesn't look that uncomfortable in the stand-up game.
No, he's actually improved a bunch here. Looks much more comfortable, much more relaxed than I've seen him before.
Well, you say what you will about the dynamic fighters that come out of the Miletich camp, but the American top team is producing right now some of the greatest fighters in the world as well.
They've got some great fighters in a great camp, and Jeff has moved back to the Tacoma area and started his own top team there in the Tacoma Olympia area. Got a great little crew of fighters up there and a good school.
In your old neck of the woods.
Let's go, come on.
Sylvia trying to push forward. Tim has gone the distance before. He did it in his title defense against Andrei Arlovsky.
Seeing Jeff getting a little weary here. He's flinching a little bit off of Tim's combinations. Tim needs to double that jab up, like Pat was saying in his corner. There's a nice single leg attempt. Flattened him out. Man, Jeff is strong. He pulled himself in with this single leg.
Punishing the legs a little bit is Sylvia. And come on back up, Snowman. Sylvia with the long reach. Monson actually worked some
nice left hand by Tim.
Had a boxing glove on a PVC pole, very long for Monson to get used to that reach, to duck under and try to counter. Got to keep the head moving here, Jeff Monson.
A nice short little left hook.
Tim's strike. You know what? For a big man that you said that doesn't look the most athletic in the world, he has very technically strong striking skills.
Absolutely, and with a guy at 6'8" who's rangy like that, that's exactly what he wants to work on. It's a perfect thing for his body type to be strong in.
See the eyes of Jeff Monson there, a look into the corner, the frustration with the multiple failed takedown attempts.
The doubt is starting to creep in. You're seeing a left hook straight right now from Tim, starting to set up his combinations. See if he starts using the jab more effectively.
Great combination. Good defense that time by Monson. Heavyweight title fight. Mike Goldberg, the natural Randy Couture. Our fine broadcast crew here from the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Glad to be with you tonight. Sold out ARCO Arena, UFC 65, Bad Intentions.
Big overhand attempt by Jeff Monson, didn't land. Again, I think he's got to be willing to throw his hands, at least give Tim something else to think about to set up that shot. Crowd again trying to encourage Jeff Monson.
A lot of fans here on the West Coast. Lots of Sylvia fans, though, as well.
On the throw, guys, let's go.
McCarthy urges on the action. 1 minute remains in round number 2. Not nearly the amount of takedown attempts by Monson here in round 2.
He slowed down a little bit. You can see that doubt kind of creeping into his face.
Randy, he cannot give up that game plan, though, can he?
Oh, absolutely not. I think that's the key to victory for him, is to get this fight on the ground. But what has he had? 5 takedown attempts now, and he's been very unsuccessful, not even close. And I mean, there's no way that can't affect you psychologically.
How much energy does it take to sprawl? Let's take away the question from Monson. How about Sylvia? Can he be worn down by consistently and constantly having to sprawl?
You know, he's reacting very well. He's getting his legs back. He's bringing all his weight down on Jeff. I don't think it's spending a lot of energy for him. His reactions are quick. I don't think it's bothering him at all. Nice right hand by Tim. Set it up with the one and brought that right.
Oh, Tim's starting to feel it now.
He's starting to get into the
Tucked under by Monson.
Again, reacts very well.
Final seconds of round number 2. And Sylvia's confidence continues to grow.
Hey, perfect. That's what we want. Keep it up. Tim, don't keep your jab out. That lets us know how far to shoot from. Don't leave the jab out straight.
Got to start throwing. Let's go.
You're doing good. Don't listen.
Hey, listen. Listen.
Stay right here, Ken.
It's time now. He's looking for that jab and he's parrying a lot. So fake the 1, come with the 3, then the 2, right?
Stand under the ring and push it against the cage.
Right.
Well, the first round was really close, but this round, I see Tim Sylvia slowly pulling away. You know, unless Tim Sylvia totally gasses, which he's not known for, I don't think Jeff Monson's going to get the takedown tonight. I think slowly we're going to see Tim Sylvia pour it on. 10-9, second round, another one for Tim Sylvia.
Josh Berkman in attendance here tonight.
The People's Warrior.
There you go, very nice. The Snowman and the Maniac. Tim Sylvia, Jeff Monson, round number 3. Heavyweight title fight, belt on the line.
Nice jab by Tim.
Interesting point out of the Sylvia corner, Randy, when they talked about don't leave the jab. Oh, there's the takedown. First takedown of the night for Monson. And a good and powerful one in that.
Yeah, caught Tim stepping in with the jab, flat-footed a little bit, exploded through him and cut his legs out, put him right on his back. Let's see what Big Tim can do now.
Tim with the closed guard.
He's going to try and tie Jeff up and keep Jeff here in his closed guard and look for a stand-up.
Monson is world class in this position. As powerful a ground and pounder as there is in the sport. Trying to get that leverage, get that spacing so he can come down hard on Sylvia.
Reaches back and fakes like he's going to attack the feet to unhook the feet. Comes back with the big overhand right.
Finally took Sylvia, the champion, down early here in round number 3.
Monson punching away at the body. It looks almost like Jeff's unable to reach Tim's head from the guard position, and Tim can still extend his arms and hit Jeff in the head.
He's postured up, Randy, as you talked about.
Standing in the guard, trying to break this closed guard of Tim Sylvia. There it's open.
Now Tim's going to try to push away. And Jeff's going to try to gain that position. Tim does a great job of staying with Monson in his guard.
Absolutely. Looked like Tim might push away and get up. Monson back on him. Tim back to the closed guard.
First time we have seen Monson in a controlling position, though.
Nice elbows from the bottom with Big Tim. Again, Monson trying to break the guard.
Tim's trying to push him off. Monson does not want to give up this position. Took him over 10 minutes to get here.
And I think that Tim has done his homework here. Worst case scenario training. He put himself in this position. Using those elbows from the bottom. He's marking Jeff's head up. Little blood from the nose, little blood from the top of the head.
And again with the reach advantage, Tim is the one who can deliver a huge elbow because he's going to have some leverage, some room to work.
6-foot-long arms coming at you, even from the bottom, are pretty devastating. Jeff standing in the guard, trying to punch away.
Can hardly reach him. Tim doing a great job weathering the first Monson storm.
Trying to kick away, look for Jeff to pass here. Jeff's going to pass. Somebody's mouthpiece just fell out.
Side control now for the Snowman.
Watch for Monson to go to the north-south position. He likes this north-south choke. We saw him finish an earlier fight that way.
That was his win over Brandon.
Sylvia's up.
Looking for it. Looking to finish Sylvia. And Sylvia sneaks away. Still though in a bad position. Side control for Monson. This round belongs to the challenger.
Sylvia almost out. Monson snags his head, jumps to the guillotine. Tim has to roll to alleviate the pressure on his neck and goes back on the bottom in the cross-side position.
Sylvia wants to avoid that north-south. You can see Monson thinking about it again, Randy. Good elbows, even with great control by Monson. Looking to go north-south again.
As soon as he does, Tim goes to corner position, goes to his hands and knees. He's got to watch for the guillotine. He's got to watch for the guillotine here, Tim does. Monson bleeding from the nose and the head, from the elbows. Here's the guillotine attempt again.
Tim trying to get out of it.
Rolling out of it again. And Tim on top now.
Great job done by Sylvia on top in a north-south.
Nice reversal by Tim. We'll see if Tim stands up. He's going to stay down on the ground here. Amazing. Pushes away. Now he's going to stand up.
And Sylvia is back on his feet.
but have the cut checked. One of those elbows cut Jeff pretty badly on his right eye.
What a job done by Tim the Maniac Sylvia!
Weathers the storm on the ground, avoids the submission, avoids 2 guillotines, scrambles back to his feet, manages to land some damage from the elbows from the bottom. Big mouse and a nice cut on the right eye of Jeff Monson. Gonna let him go.
Good, let's go.
Monson is fine.
See if Tim turns it up now.
23 seconds remains in round 3. The first round that will go the way of Jeff Monson. Unless he gets knocked out in the next 13 seconds.
Big right hand.
Wow, that's got to give Tim Sylvia some serious confidence.
Obviously done his homework and spent some time on his back.
Big knee, and that rocks Monson. Monson goes down, but the round comes to conclusion. What a round number 3.
Woo! Come here, come here. Yeah.
You're doing everything perfect. Don't get too excited and try to finish too early. Just keep what we're doing. We're doing everything perfect. Stay relaxed. Just keep picking them
You
apart.
can't go more rounds. Just listen to me. Let me give a hey, listen. You can go more rounds. Listen.
I'm okay. Give me water, man.
Water. Give me some water. What I'm saying, Jack, look. You can take him down. We can work on the ground. We can even work on the body shots right now. Move your body.
Jeff doing a great job going for the guillotine. Big Tim rolling to alleviate the pressure. And he rolls so hard. He's so big and long. He's like hanging onto an alligator. He rolls all the way to the top position and ends up on top of Jeff Monson. I don't think anybody expected to see Tim Sylvia on top of Jeff.
Eddie Bravo.
Well, Jeff Monson finally did it, finally got the takedown. He even got the guard pass. His ground and pound wasn't that effective, but he did have 2 guillotine attempts, and even though Tim Sylvia turned it around there at the end, I think it was too late to win that round. I gave that round to Jeff Monson, 10-9.
Thank you, Eddie. So Monson wins his first round here of the 5 scheduled in the estimation of Eddie Bravo. Interesting, though, conversation in the corner of Jeff Monson when you heard his trainer saying, you can keep going, you can keep going. Was there doubt in the mind, cardio-wise, that Monson could continue?
Yeah, they almost like they sensed he wanted to quit or something. And maybe it was the cut that they were talking about.
Very much the case.
Not the psychology of Jeff Monson at this point. Although I'm sure he's frustrated to get on top and not get the submission that he thought he would get.
Well, when you train all you have for hours and hours upon hours with one of the best jiu-jitsu men in the world in Jeremy Horn, you learn to defend submissions, and that's the one thing Tim Sylvia will tell you. He has learned so much from Jeremy Horn.
Absolutely. Why do you think Matt Hughes is as good a submission guy as he is right now and submitting his last couple of opponents? Because of Jeremy Horn as well, I think. And again, you're only as good as your workout.
And you know what, Randy, we've said before that sometimes you learn submissions not to submit people, but to avoid being submitted. And that's kind of the case with Sylvia.
Double leg, nice sprawl. A little late on the sprawl, but still heavy enough to kind of crush Jeff Monson. And Tim Sylvia passes and ends up in cross-eyed position.
So 2 rounds to 1 on Eddie Bravo's scorecard. Side control by 6'8", 265-pound Tim Sylvia.
Short, choppy elbows by Tim on top. Using his length and his weight to his advantage here on top of Jeff Monson. Short, little choppy elbows. Jeff Monson going for a reversal, ends up giving up the mount position, almost the mount, now half guard.
Sylvia is showing how versatile he has become. Because that fight against Arlovsky really never went to the ground. In fact, did it?
And everybody believes this is his Achilles heel. This is his big weakness, and he's showing some skills, some positions, some transitions, ability here on the ground that I don't think a lot of people expected.
He's lost only twice, to Frank Mir and Andrei Arlovski. Both times he was submitted. Broken arm with Mir, and then Arlovski got him in the ankle, but he rocked him first. So it was a submission that was set up by a heavy hand.
By a very heavy hand.
But Tim said he didn't want to go through all the rehab, so it's not that he tapped quickly, but he said, I can't have my ankle ripped up like I had my arm ripped up.
Americana attempt by Tim Sylvia.
Could he submit the submission specialist? That would be something to see.
The fact that he's on top, I mean, if you would have told me that Tim Sylvia is going to be on the top going for submissions against Jeff Monson, I would have said you're crazy.
Tim trying to get the better of the ground game here against Monson.
Sure if we're just dealing with a very fatigued Jeff Monson, but we're not getting a lot of action, a lot of motion from the bottom here from Jeff Monson.
Well, we're definitely dealing with an extremely confident, more confident than ever Tim Sylvia.
He's a very heavy, very big guy to be having on top of you. Monson coming out the back door. Monson on top now, nice work. Just about the time you think there's no life left in him, he comes out the back door, working for the pass.
What a battle with the heavyweight title on the line. Mouthpiece. Can't tell which man's mouthpiece is on the mat right now.
It looks like Jeff Monson's mouthpiece, which again is a sign of fatigue. He spit his mouthpiece out.
If he can get the fight to where he wants it, Monson feels confident. But can he finish it where he wants it? Not yet. Fourth round.
Second round in a row now. He's been here on the ground. Oh, triangle! Triangle by Tim.
Tim Sylvia.
Can he lock it in? It's not locked in. He's going for a triangle armbar.
Able to pull out. 15 seconds remains in round number 4. 10 seconds on the clock. What a battle between two of the greatest mixed martial artists in the world today.
Wow, that right eye is really swelling up in Jeff Monson. And what a round by Tim Sylvia. 2 submission attempts.
Come here.
Dominating on the top on the ground. Who would have thought it?
One more round.
When you're in half guard on him, if you're there ever again, he's trying to dig underneath you and tip you, right?
Nice job of Jeff Monson coming out the back door and getting back on top where he wants to be in this fight. But still ineffective on top even once he got there.
Don't leave your jab out there. Keep peppering him and move.
Don't lose him. You can submit him. Listen, you really can submit him.
Both eyes are swollen and nearly closed.
Yeah, you
He's
really
taking
can
some
submit
good
him.
shots from Tim Sylvia.
Listen,
Still in it.
We got a card.
There's no way you love this shit.
Jack, listen, you can really win.
Too tired.
Eddie Bravo.
Well, Jeff Monson got the fight where he wanted it. He was on top, but it was at the end of the round, the last minute, and it took a long time to get there. It came off a failed takedown attempt to like a guard pull. Tim Sylvia, you know, I'm giving Tim Sylvia the round based on the Americana attempt and the triangle attempt. The ground and pound from Jeff Monson at the end of that round was not enough to steal that round. 10-9 Tim Sylvia.
5th and final round.
I wonder how much this swelling is going to affect the vision of Jeff Monson here. Left eye swollen over. Right eye almost swollen shut from the bottom.
Let's go.
What a battle. What a gamer Jeff Monson is.
Oh, he's got a lot of heart.
We knew that coming in though, Randy.
Oh, big low shot. Stuffed by Tim. Nice sprawl by Tim.
Unbelievable job done with the sprawl.
North-south choke here attempt by Tim. Taking a page out of Monson's book. He's going to make Monson get up.
Yeah, now no more ground game. I think Sylvia feels that the fatigue has settled in to Jeff Monson. It's setting in at a drastic pace. Now he may swing for the fences.
To see if he sets up that high kick again.
Let's see if he kicks. Now that he's got Monson fatigued.
Well, and he's been on the ground with Monson, and he's got to have confidence that, you know, Monson didn't submit him, didn't even come close to submitting him, really. He's able to easily roll out of the 2 guillotine attempts that Jeff made.
Monson's tank is very close to empty, Randy. You can see it. You can see it in his legs. Sylvia almost appears to be fresh still.
Tim still giving Jeff quite a bit of respect. He's not going crazy, trying to be over-aggressive and finish this fight.
Sylvia could cruise to the finish and the title defense. He would rather not, though, I'm sure.
It's not really his style. I don't see him doing that, but he is being a little tentative. He's not being terribly aggressive here. He's backing up.
No reason to put yourself in a precarious situation here.
Time. This is a fight. You guys got to fight, all right?
There you go,
You got to get after it. Let's go. Come on.
Nice job, Big
Time.
John.
Let's get it on. Let's go.
Big John's saying, all right, I had enough of this, guys. This ain't a waltz.
Nasty looking result of a waltz if it is one.
Yeah. I don't think Dancing with the Stars has seen anything like this.
Absolutely. Emmett didn't look like that when he was done winning. Doing his Cowboy teammates proud like Darren Woodson and many other great Cowboys watching UFC tonight. Monson trying to come over the top. Another great sprawl.
Nice sprawl. I'm surprised that Tim isn't stepping it up a little bit. And smelling that, you know, Jeff might be closer to quitting here, to being done.
Well, it's one thing to tap. It's another thing to have mentally tapped. And we have seen fighters before that may have mentally tapped before the actual fight was over. And maybe that's what we're seeing a little bit here in the 5th from Monson. Because he got it into the position he wanted. But he got it in the position he wanted, Randy, and Tim was able to control that. And as you well know, unfortunately, that could very well be the beginning of the end mentally.
Got to fight, gentlemen.
And I think if Tim stepped up and was more aggressive here, he may get Jeff to that point where he just gives it up. But Tim's being tentative. He's not pushing the action. He's not taking advantage of that potential situation.
No one thought he would beat Arlovsky once, let alone twice. And with those 2 wins, we see the most confident, and now we have seen the most versatile Tim Sylvia we have ever seen in the octagon. And he's still a young champion at 30 years old.
Now he's got a lot of years left in him. He's a hard-working guy, does a great job, diligent with his homework, studying his opponents.
And he's 30 seconds away from walking back out with what he embraces and admires the most in the world, and that is his UFC heavyweight belt. Going to be under the bed of the Maniac in 15 seconds. Tim Sylvia will defend his heavyweight title. And it is all over. They go the distance. Sylvia wanted the dynamic finish, but he will take the end result. And that is retaining what he so dearly cherishes.
Tim, the conservative approach, coast the last round, lets the fight go. He knew he was in charge and in the lead.
Eddie Bravo.
Well, nothing happened in that round. We had a couple, 2 or 3 failed takedown attempts. It looked like Jeff Monson was just out of gas there. Maybe his eyes bothering him. Tim Sylvia didn't do much either, but, I gave him the round because he did land, maybe 10 pitter-pat shots. It looks like he was a little fatigued. Maybe he didn't want to take, any risk. So I gave, it's 49-46. Tim Sylvia regains the belt in my eyes.
Eddie, thank you very much. Great job. Eddie Bravo seeing all but 1 round going to Jeff Monson. Shoney, Mr. International Carter in the house tonight.
Sexy slowpoke.
Shoney will fight again in the UFC. What a great showing. What a fine entertainer he was on The Ultimate Fighter 4. There's the light heavyweight champion, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. With Mike Bibby in the house tonight. Tremendous hoopster. Spurs and the Kings tomorrow here at ARCO. Tonight it's all about the UFC though. The King's own Mike Bibby here tonight to see the UFC. A disappointed Jeff Monson. And you can tell he knows the result is forthcoming. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Hector Hernandez scores the contest 50-45. Alejandro Rochin scores it 49-46. And Richard Bertrand scores it 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision and still the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia.
He wins by unanimous decision. The Maniac remains the heavyweight champion. Former heavyweight champion, present heavyweight champion.
Tim, if you'd have told me I was going to see Tim Sylvia on top, trying triangle chokes and Americanas, I would have told you you're crazy. Tell me how you thought the fight went.
And north-south chokes too. I'm disappointed that I didn't finish him. Jeff came in really good shape, but my cornerman told me that I just went the distance, out jiu-jitsu, the best jiu-jitsu guy in the heavyweight division. So, that's something to be happy about. I definitely thanks to Zions. I mean, my conditioning is so much better. I'm able to go 5 5-minute rounds with no problem. A lot of big thanks to my teammates, Steve, Ben, Mike, Sherm, Brad, Carl, all the guys back in Iowa. Helped me out getting ready for this fight because Jeff's one tough dude.
Talk me through this Mickey's replay up on the big screen here.
He had a front headlock on me. I was waiting for him to go for the guillotine. So I rolled through, was able to get my hips up a little quicker than his and went for that north-south choke that he likes. Tried to sink it in, but he doesn't have much of a neck, so it's kind of hard to choke him with that. But yeah, I'm just working the guard game a little bit, throwing elbows. I'm a lot taller than him, so I was out of his reach, and I was able to throw the big strikes while using my guard. If he tried to break it like he's going to do, I'm going to push off the hips and stand back up.
Ladies and gentlemen, your heavyweight champion, Tim Sylvia.